on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Thursday. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are. Having a look at the charts, we actually had a nice little mini rally yesterday. Bitcoin was up about 4.5%. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot to most of you. However, the interesting thing was we were looking at the market cipher indicator and we were waiting for a second indication for a long, and lo and behold, we got the second green dot. And if you actually had put in a long at that chance, well, you would have had a pretty good gain yesterday, especially if you were using like 3 or 5x leverage. Definitely was a good day. So that is the beauty of being able to make money in these markets, you know, even if you're not able to dollar cost average or something like that. But does that mean that we're out of the woods just yet? Not exactly, guys, because we're not really putting in higher highs or higher lows, which is really what we need to be doing. But that being said, I do want to talk about it because yesterday I did put out this video that said Bitcoin critical level, be careful. Now, we did get supported on this parabolic trend, right? But the question is, for how long and what are going to be Bitcoin's next moves? I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about the fact that the altcoins are seeing bigger gains today than Bitcoin. And actually, if we look at a few indications on the chart, it does signal that altcoins may start performing well. Now, does this mean alt season? Not exactly, but I do think they will start performing a little bit better. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. And also, if that's not enough for today, how about Eric Finman? You guys remember the teenage Bitcoin millionaire who bought Bitcoin? I think he was like, 12 years old. He bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin when he was 12. Well, apparently now he's over here briefing congressional representatives, even though he said that Bitcoin is pretty much dead about 6 months ago, but that is neither here nor there. So if that sounds good to you, well, you guys know what to do. Also, if this is your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel and you're not subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day. I'm usually not in the little box of shame. Shout out to Alexis for offering the green screen. However, it's literally the crack of dawn right now. So that being said, also, if you guys had an opportunity to check out the live stream that Altcoin Daily did, that was pretty cool. They had BitBoy, me, Wendio was on it. We also had FUD TV and some other people as well. So if you're interested in that, I gave it a like. Check it out. Pretty good. So let's move on. Let's talk about what is happening in these markets. Bitcoin dominance pulling back to 64.7%. You're seeing lots of big gains in the altcoins today. Bitcoin only 2.9. You're seeing Ethereum 5, XRP 2.2, Litecoin 3, Bitcoin Cash 3. EOS 7%. So yeah, guys, look at this. Some big gainers today. 14% for Nexo, 12 for GX. So yeah, the altcoins are actually feeling some love today. Now, interestingly enough, even though we're seeing a short, some sell on the exchanges, you'll notice that people are currently more towards the long side. Now, is that the right place to be right now? Well, we'll talk about that. It was the right place to be yesterday. So having a look at this trend, it was pretty apparent. I mean, anyone could see this with their own eyes. I mean, we basically started this pump back here on April 1st. Some people were actually joking, like, is this an April Fool's joke? Well, if this is a very long-lasting joke if it is, guys. But you can see right here, we touched this line, and as we have been supported by it time and time again, but will we continue to be supported on the line as we go forward? Well, as you can see right here, guys, I just want to show you, I did put it there before we pumped, so I was trying to point it out, but, you know, that's why you got to watch the videos, guys. You can't just go based on just the title and thumbnail. We go into so much detail in these videos, it's hard to summarize it in just, you know, a sentence. But right here, you can see, here's the issue that we're having, and look at Bitcoin already starting to drop down to this 55 EMA on the daily. Now, we went over this before, and a lot of times when Bitcoin tends to fall below this, we usually put in a 15 to 20% drop, which is still why we're looking at these lower levels at maybe around 8,000. Now, it doesn't mean we have to go that low, but like I said, if we go back here historically and look at all the times that Bitcoin does fall below, and I did this about, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago in my video, you could see we do put in these drops. I'll just show you, for example, this drop right here was a 20% drop, literally 20% exactly. So that's why we're concerned about that. Now, having a look at this wedge that we had right here, we are below this level of 10,700, which was a very critical level. We're definitely having difficulty breaking above it, and we've put in this smaller wedge right here. You can see we got stomped out. So this is also looking at short-term levels around 9,100, but we also said that 9,300 could be a short-term support as well. Now, you can see right here, these were the 2 dots that we put in on the market cipher right down there, and that did confirm an opportunity for a long. So currently what I'd like to see is for a second one to confirm, and then that it would be a great opportunity to potentially put in a long. And you can see that that was put in basically right here. So if you had that opportunity to get in, yeah, I mean, like I said, we already know what it is. That was actually from that moment. Well, I mean, technically the indicator wouldn't have given it, but you still would have got a 5% point being. But once again, we're being stomped out by this trend line. So most likely, if we're unable to break above that, we will end up back in this wedge, which looks like we could go sideways until about... yeah, it looks like the 1st of August, but we do know that Bitcoin tends to be quite impatient, so there is a chance that we'll have a bigger move sooner or later. I would like to get back up into this blue box region, which would be above that this is 10,006, but it's more like $10,700. And if we can finally get above this $11,700 level, that would be really, really bullish, because as you can see in here, we put a lot of accumulation, and for me, getting above this would be good. We still wouldn't have a higher high, but we would have a higher high compared to what we did right here, because we only wicked and basically touched that previous high. So this is not good short term. The other thing, if you look down here, I have this arrow, not a lot of volume really compared to things that we've seen back here during this crazy parabolic run up. So yeah, I would like to see a little bit more volume, but if you are going to be an ultimate bear right now and say, hey, we got to go all the way down to the bottom, well, currently we do have the 21 exponential on the weekly sitting at around 8,100. So it looks like a lot of people do have their eyes on that $8,000, $8,500 level, right? If you're going to close the CME gaps. Once again, just to show you in real time, this is where the market cipher put in the 2 dots. The previous ones that we had back here. Now, this is a little better because these were actually on separate mounds. I'm not going to go into it all right now. This was actually on the same one, so that's why the rally wasn't as big, but you really like to get 2 of them, and that's when you have that pop-off. So right now, let's be patient until we have another opportunity for that. But what I wanted to talk about today was the altcoins, because I know a lot of people have been holding altcoin bags. I have some altcoin bags myself, right? And we do know that they have not been performing well, unless you're holding one of the big gainers recently. You know, Chainlink did very well. Quant Network, Ren has been up, right? Agrisha did really well. But currently, you're noticing that Bitcoin dominance is pulling back, right? Now, here's another way to look at it. You can look at it as far as Bitcoin dominance pulling back going into the altcoins, or you can actually look at total 2 market cap over here. And basically, you could see that we were putting in this trend that we pretty much have respected ever since around the bottom in December. I mean, we fell below it just a little bit right here, and we fell below it just a little bit in that sort of panic sell-off phase, but currently it looks like we're being supported on the line. Now, does this mean that alt season is going to blast off like we had when all those coins were just, popping off left and right on Binance? Well, not necessarily. We could have a sideways thing where once we got above it, from February 8th, we basically went very, 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 very slowly, sort of just creeping upwards for about an entire month until the 1st of April before that massive pump, right? So I'm not saying altcoins are going to explode, but I am saying that altcoins have hit the bottom of this trend that's been going on since December. So now that we're back above it, this does seem short term, at least, maybe pretty good for some altcoins. So I just wanted to point that out moving forward. But you know what, guys? We should probably sell our Bitcoin anyway, because U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin thinks that the outlook for Bitcoin is bleak. Then again, this is also the guy that, and I quote him, says, "I don't think nefarious activity has successfully been done with cash." Not only is that one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard, but it's a lie. So yeah, we'll take that with a grain of salt, or maybe we just won't take it at all and we'll send it right on back to the kitchen. Now, talking about the fact that whatever Mnuchin's talking about, the institutions are clearly interested. You see TD Ameritrade CEO issued a new statement indicating that clients are asking for investment opportunities in cryptocurrencies and that they are looking for ways to serve their needs. You can see right here that since 2018, they have offered futures through the CME futures, right? But you can see right here, clients are asking for it, and the CFTC has licensed ErisX to offer derivatives and futures contracts. Now, coming down here, you can see that they are taking this very slowly. In fact, the title is Crawl, Walk, Run Approach. So obviously, it's still not clear what's going on with regulation, but the demand for Bitcoin is steadily growing. Now, I wanted to talk about Eric Finman. Today, I briefed congressional representatives and staffers on Bitcoin cryptocurrency and what it means for America. Well, we actually got confirmation on this. If we watch this video, I don't know where it is. There's a shot of him somewhere in here actually talking to Congress. Oh, there it is right here. So, yeah, I mean, they're giving this kid the floor. I guess he's a Bitcoin expert, although let's go back to this article that came out on December 17th, and he basically said, Bitcoin is dead, it's too fragmented, there's tons of infighting, I just don't think it will last, and not to mention, he says Litecoin has been dead for a while. It's like when the sun is going down, and there's that 8-minute period just before it goes dark. Litecoin is in its 7th minute. So, yeah, let me just remind you when he made that statement. So maybe don't listen to everything that you hear on the internet, especially from these expert guys. Like even me, like I'm just a dude on the internet, I'm not perfect. I don't get everything right all the time. So obviously always do your own research. But yeah, Eric, all right, Litecoin's dead, huh? This is the Litecoin chart, by the way, we're looking at. This is not Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't think Litecoin is dead at all. But anyway, moving on, I need to talk about the fact that we are in San Francisco and there is no Tron event, but I'm here anyway. I'm actually enjoying the sights. And you can see right here, he actually made a little bit of an apology. He said, my intention of having lunch with Warren Buffett was because of my admiration for him and my enthusiasm for charity. It was simple, but also with self-interest to promote blockchain industry and my project, but my immature, naive, and impulsive conduct with my big mouth have turned into an out of control and failed over marketing hype and led to a significant series of unexpected consequences. During the whole process, I went from being excited to worried, agonized, and then terrified and regretful. It led to a negative influence on the public and also drew concerns from regulators who care about me. Again, I want to say I'm sorry. So I know it can definitely be tough with announcements and, people talking about plagiarizations of white papers and all these other things. Tron has definitely had a little bit of a difficult journey, but I mean, you got to almost give it to him. I mean, he has made a public apology. You know what I mean? Like, what more do you want from the guy? Hopefully he'll maybe dial back on the hype of the marketing and maybe he'll learn his lesson this time. And, that's life, guys. Learn lessons, make changes, not just as traders, as people, but we'll have to see, we'll have to see moving forward. So that's basically that. But speaking of other controversy, so this is a tweet that Charlie Lee had put out, and he actually deleted it. He said it's hard to estimate how much hash rate jumped on it initially, but it was still fair with Litecoin as everyone had a fair chance to mine. What was unfair about Dash was that it was launched to friends only for the first few days and then total supply reduced after the fact. Obviously in reference to, maybe the early days of Dash being a little biased or unfair. He deleted it saying he really didn't want to cause any problems. He was just trying to point something out. So, Charlie Lee has had these times in the past when he's sort of put out these controversial tweets and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really look too into it. Also, guys, Brave Browser, you can now actually take your basic attention tokens off of Brave Browser, which is pretty cool. But unfortunately, they are asking for KYC. A lot of people do not like this. So yeah, if that's the case, then I don't know what to tell you guys. It's unfortunate, but they're just trying to work with regulators right now. But yeah, I agree. KYC kind of does suck for that. So anyway, moving on, we have another apparently wannabe Satoshi Nakamoto. It's this dude right here, real Satoshi Nakamoto. He claims that he is Satoshi. This is his account right here. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, if you're Satoshi, either, sign something from the Genesis block, put in a signature, move some out of your wallet, just do something that we can all see, right? Instead of just saying that you are and running circles around everybody. But hey, on the bright side, our good old buddy John McAfee was released from detention in the Dominican Republic. He says that the local authorities did treat him very well during his 4-day confinement. And according to the Associated Press, John McAfee and his crew members were taken into custody for carrying military-grade weapons on their yachts. And here's some pictures over here on Twitter. You can see, looks like all is good. So yeah, always a fun time and never a dull day in crypto. Also talking about what is going on over here with the whole BitMEX situation. You can see that $85 million worth of Bitcoin has moved off the exchange. Average value of withdrawal transactions has tripled and trade volume dropped more than 50%. Now keep in mind, this is a little bit of an older tweet, but as you know, there was a bit of a scare with the regulators looking into, trading. And then there was also that accusation of, trading against you're basically against your traders, right? So you can see it appears that the whales are migrating. So yeah, where are they going? Well, honestly, guys, I love Bybit. That's what I use. And yeah, guys, see, currently we're putting in this little bit of the dump here. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes on those levels. But like I said, there's still some good opportunities for some scalps here. But we really need to wait for Bitcoin to have that confirmed bottom. And once we have that, well, then we can change our tune again. But that being said, you guys know on this channel, I'm always long-term bullish, right? Short-term is is just short term. We're going to put these in. We've had 40% dips here and there. But that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much. And before we go, this is actually not the best news to end today on, but unfortunately, Tyler Jenks has passed. You might know him from his hyperwave theory. He has been one of the most, I guess, famous Bitcoin bears. Now, he's not against Bitcoin. He was just very bearish. He was the one saying we had to go down to about $1,000. But what I think is really cool is just the fact of this guy's age. You know, a lot of these older guys, they don't give Bitcoin a chance. You know, they don't care about it. You know, they call it rat poison and everything else, right? And I really appreciated the fact that Tyler really cared about Bitcoin and saw its potential, and it's a really sad day today. So yeah, my condolences for him and his family and you know, Tone Vase and everybody else. So hate to end on that note, guys, but seriously, you know, it's unfortunate when the space loses you know, somebody like that. So that being said, my goodness, that was a horrible ending, but you know, it happens, guys. It's life. You know, life just keeps on going. And that's another thing too. You know, guys, when we're talking about trading and stuff like that, looking at these charts, I mean, money's not everything, guys. You know, do you have your health? Do you have a roof over your head? You know, do you have family and friends? You know, you can always get more money, guys, right? So, you know, don't spend your life glued to the charts and miss everything around you. You know, life is too short. So that being said, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you do appreciate this content, you know, dropping a like or a comment would be great. Definitely get subscribed. I mean, we do this every single day, and make sure to hit that bell notification because sometimes YouTube gets funny and turns it off. I don't know why it does that. But that being said, guys, once again, thank you so much. Also, don't forget, you guys know we give a Ledger Nano S away every Monday. Almost forgot to mention it because I'm not in my studio, but that's it for me today. Thank you so much. You guys rock. You know I love you. That's why I'm making this video at the crack of dawn. In fact, you've probably seen the sun slowly rise on me as we've